Stop me if you've heard this one before. What do you think I was about to tell you a joke? No, I mean literally, if you know where I'm going with this, fast forward to the part of the video where I'm wearing a different shirt. If you don't know where I'm going with this, stick around. We've got a surprise for you. Brace yourself though. What I'm about to say might come as a shock because it's not something that we like to talk about in our day-to-day lives. Pornography. Started off as something that we could easily live without, and then dangerously turned into the opposite. As somebody that struggled with it for over 10 years, been there, I know how you feel. The hiding, the shame, the cycles of the guilt and the regret and the blah, 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 and the I'm sorry, God prayers. I get it. Feels like you're drowning. But because of the judgment and all that, it's better to just keep it hush-hush. No more. No more keeping it hush-hush. That's one. I need you to say that. No more keeping it hush-hush. First and foremost. If we're going to change it, we have to acknowledge it. We acknowledge it, we can fix it. That's one. Two, feels like you're drowning. Well, here's a helping hand. I made a video book. A digital interactive video book, fancy. I made a video book called Make Porn Mourn. The concept behind it is that porn has taken a lot from us in a very, very slick way. Now, this is our get back, okay? This is our get back. Now we are the ones that are going to make porn mourn. There's 3 things that you'll find in this book. 1, what is porn? The truth about it. 2, what Jesus has to say about porn. He actually talks about it, funny enough. And 3, how to beat it. Knowing these 3 things is what will put you on the path on your start to freedom. That's it. $20. You can access it on my Stand store. The link will be wherever it comes first, either in the description or it'll be in our bio, depending on where we're at when you're seeing this. Go in there, grab your copy. You might have to do a little sacrifice, like I said, $20. So you might have to skip out on some eating out or, some Netflix or some, I don't care what you have to do, just get it done. Get that 20 and get that digital copy. You get me? I love you. Let's do it. Okay, I got caught lacking. Bad. I was feeling overwhelmed this morning. I'm talking about the trials and tribulations were tribulating in trial. Me. I'm thinking about everything and I was feeling overwhelmed. And I was feeling overwhelmed because you're going to learn here in a second. I was thinking about things that I had no business thinking about. And I remember there were just all these situations that I didn't have answers to that needed answers. And they was hitting me at once. So I'm just sitting here. But here's the difference. I knew I needed to go to him. I knew I did. I was like, okay, I need to pray now. So I text Alannah, my girlfriend, right? My wife. Let's stop playing. And I'm like, I need you right now. She stops everything she does. I'm like, can we please go? What did I say? I want to say exactly what I said. Hold on. I said, could we go talk to Pops? Okay. So, and she replies, yeah, for sure. Drops everything. Love that girl. Drops everything. I call her. So now I want to give you context really quickly. Her and I are about to go to the throne. Her and I are about to literally go to the throne of heaven where Father resides to go speak to him in the spirit. All right. So she's in Pittsburgh. I'm in Texas. So the only way to be able to go to him together to the throne was going to be in the spirit. That's a whole other thing in itself. If y'all want me to talk about that, I can. But let's just get into it. I'm on the phone. I call her. We're here. And I'm just kind of like nervous. I've frozen. I know that the plan is to go talk to Pops, right? It's to go to him in prayer. But I'm nervous. I'm just like, I don't want to go. As if, I don't know. I don't even know where it was coming from. I'm sure it was demonic. I just don't know why. Well, I know the why. Obviously, they didn't want me to go talk to him. But like, you know, so, and I'm like, I don't want to go. And she's like, that's fine. I'm going to drag your butt up there. And so I stop and I'm like, okay, fine. So I close my eyes. Now we're in the spirit. Some people call it imagination. We believers know it as the spirit realm. And I'm about to prove to you how it was a spirit. So when her and I go to go pray, right? And as I said, if you guys want me to talk about it, I definitely can. It's a whole thing. When her and I go to go pray, I'm usually holding her hand, right? My eyes are closed and I'm holding her right hand. She's holding my left hand. We're either standing, sitting, or kneeling. So whatever we're feeling like, just whatever we're feeling like in that moment, okay, when we go talk to him. But we're at his throne and we're at his feet, his kids, and we're coming to talk to him about whatever. So I'm always holding her left hand, right? This time I remember she said the words, I'm going to drag you. Close my eyes. In his spirit, we're on the way over. First and foremost, when I close my eyes, I'm just there. There's no like transition period from earth or wherever I am in the physical to now the spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. I just close my eyes and boom, I'm at Father's throne. But this time, she was grabbing my right arm, or my right hand this time. And I was grabbing her left, and she was pulling me. I feel like that's prophetic in some way. But she was pulling me. And I felt it. And it was as if we were traveling through, best way I could say it, I want to say portals, but that's not what it equates to. I want to say space, but that's also not what it equates to. The best way I could describe it, we're traveling through dimensions to get to the throne. We're traveling through dimensions to get to heaven. One dimension, okay? Because this is where I'm seeing she's pulling me. Like, literally, my partner is pulling me to the Father. Men, my brothers in Christ, do not settle for anything less than Father has for you. My partner is pulling me to the Father. Okay, I remember, this is how I know it's spiritual. Or I guess this is how you'll know that this is, because this is information that I could not have known. My eyes are closed. She's in Pittsburgh, I'm in Texas. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Physically, it doesn't make sense. Spiritually now, I asked her, I said, keep in mind, I'm always holding her left hand, right? She's always holding my right hand. I said, I'm holding your left hand this time, aren't I? She said, huh, yeah, you are. All right, but anyway, so we get there, right? And we have two different spots. My throne room of dad, right? Completely different from hers. Like I said, y'all want me to make a video on it? I sure will. I'm here to serve you guys. So if y'all want that, I got y'all. But that's a whole other thing. But either way, we're there, right? She's there, my helpmate. She's there to support me, to aid me. I'm still stalling. I'm like, you got mine. So I'm at Father's throne. And now it's time to talk. And I remember like, I was like, you want to go first? I got a lot. She's like, I'm just here to support you. She was like, talk to your father. What is it? 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast your cares. Boy, I started dropping them things left and right. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. And I remember I was thinking, I was like, I want to be present. I want to be present and I want to speak to you right now. And he was like, hi, son. And I was like, hi. He was like, I love you. I was like, I love you too. I was like, that's not why we're here. He's like, you sure? And he asked me, he goes, how are you? And I remember I was like, why would you ask me that? People ask me that. Why would you ask me that? You're the one that taught me that the condition of my day is contingent on whether I choose to acknowledge your promises or not. So why would you ask me how I am? And he was like, because I want you to acknowledge that you haven't acknowledged my promises. And I was like, oh. Very kindly too. It's not like he's all mission general and da-da-da. He very kindly. And I'm just like, So in a very goofy way, he kind of like throws up a whiteboard and he's like, which one of my promises which one of my promises have you not acknowledged? And I was just like, basically it was the fact that he's a provider. And it was like, is it A, B, C? And I remember C was highlighted. It's very weird me talking about this like out loud because now it's like a full indication that like I talk to this. I talk to dad. But anyway, I talk to God. But anyway, I want you to remember, he exists outside of time. So to me, this is like, her and I are on the phone, remember? We're in prayer, blah, blah, blah. This is like 10 minutes. But all this is happening. It's funny, like all this is happening in seconds. It's just very weird now that I'm explaining it. I'm having to explain to y'all what I saw. But to me, it was just happening like this. And so he basically like throws the joke that I'm not seeing him as a provider in this moment. So I cast your cares. Oh, I dropped them all. I'm like, Dad, I don't know what is going on right now. Like, panic mode is panic moding. We $600 in the bank account. Rent is $519. Okay, Club 297, and not answering nothing. Dog is peeing on the couch. How am I supposed to get? Like, bro, just. I remember, like, as I'm giving him these problems, he starts shooting solutions. As fast as I'm shooting the problems, he starts shooting solutions. Rug, he was like, well, aren't you going to talk to Jess about that? He was like, I've given you a personal assistant. She practically trains dogs. Why don't you just ask her what to do? I was like, okay, you're right. I haven't asked her. I was like, okay, but I was like, rent. What about that? He was like, name me 1 month that you've went and you didn't pay the rent. Rent didn't get paid. I didn't have an answer. So he's giving me solutions. I'm like, all right, what about him getting neutered? He was like, I was like, I don't know about the appointment, blah, 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 blah. He was like, I've given you a personal assistant that could take that off your hands. You've chosen not to involve her in that part of your life. So he's giving me all these solutions, bro. Like, he goes, I was like, Club 297. He was like, have you set rules and guidelines and parameters for them to act in? Or are you just expecting them to move with no real expectations? So now he's refuting me, bro. And maybe this is why I didn't want to come. He's giving me solutions to all these problems that I am currently like, having a meltdown, right? He's like, boom, 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 boom. And it's like, oh, it's not that bad. And I remember it got to a point where I'm like, I'm now telling him, yeah, I hear you, but, and he was like, really? He was like, so there's 7 problems we've gone over and I've given you 7 solutions. He goes, are you here seeking solutions, or are you just here to dwell in your problems? Are you here to introduce your problems to me, or are you introducing me to your problems? What are we doing here? Then I got convicted. I was like, okay, you're right. All right, fine. Let's introduce you to the problems. He said, cool. First off the bat, he says, circumstances aside, how many problems do you have now? He says, you put all circumstances aside. Remember when I told you in the beginning that I was worrying about stuff that I had no business worrying about? He says, you put all circumstances aside. He said, how many problems do you have now? I was like, 0. And I remember I said it out loud. Lana called, and at this point, I'm answering him out loud. So Lana's able to hear impartial the conversation, but she's just there in the spirit. She's talking to him, whatever. But she's there as my support. But she's hearing me say some of the things out loud. So some of the things she's catching me saying in the midst of the conversation. And so I'm like, I said out loud, I said, all circumstances aside, how many problems would I have? And she goes out loud, 0! And I was like, oh. I'm putting security in circumstances. Like, what? I'm talking about hows and whens and wheres. And forget all that. I got the who. He led this dog to me. Is he just going to leave me to pay for it? Like, to pay for the furniture that he pisses on? The dog's here because of him. Am I just supposed to believe that he's not going to cover the dog? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, her birthday. He wanted her here in Texas for her birthday. Am I just supposed to think that he's just that I'm going to follow his will, right? I'm going to follow his plan for my life in obedience, and he's just not going to take care of me? Yo, my fault. Like, I got caught lacking. This doesn't make any sense. Why would you take your Matthew 6:33? Seek first the kingdom. Are you serving my people? Yes. Are you offering yourself as a sacrifice? Yes. Are you doing everything in your power to make sure that, like, to shed a light into the light of other people? Yes, 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 yes. Why would I not take care of you? You were literally walking in the authority of being my child. You just think I'm gonna leave you stranded? I was like, I see when you put it like that, it doesn't really make no sense for me to be twitching and tweaking. Like, that doesn't make sense. So I was just like, no. and honestly, I couldn't even remember the problems that I was listening at him. I was just trying to remember them for the sake of the video. But he nullified all that, man. He was like, son, I'll pay for everything. He's like, did you just think I was gonna have you like out here willy-nilly? But then also, if you gave your life to me, then that means that your life is my mission and my operation now. My mission is lived out through your life. You're the vessel. So, did you think I was just gonna have you do the things, but you weren't gonna have the provision? Of all the circumstances that you've considered, the one that you've left out is the fact that I'm in control. The circumstance you forget to acknowledge right now is that I'm a provider, is that I'm in control, is that I have literally told you that if you follow me, I got you. You're my kid. And I was like, yeah, they don't. And then it was a revelation. He was like, you're not using the resources I provided for you because you're leaning on your own understanding. You're being so focused on what you think you deserve instead of just focusing on what I've given you. I know you felt that one because I felt it. So I know you felt it. He's like, you're so focused right now on what you deserve. So if you don't think you deserve something, you're not going to move with what I've given you because you don't think that you deserve it. This has never been about what you deserve. This isn't about you. Remember, it's my mission being lived out through you. This isn't about you, remember? Jesus dying on the cross, it was not about you. It was about him. It was about me because I'm the only one who can do it. So all these things you're worrying about, I'm the only one that can do it. Why are you worrying about something that you have no control over? Outcome's never been none of your business. And it ain't gonna start today. That's my business. You let me worry about that. Hey, that was all I had to hear. Title of the video is what? Stop tripping. I'm God. Oh yeah. Title of the video, stop tripping. I'm God. I got caught lacking, and then he reset me. And I just wanted to share with you, like, the day has been, I've been flourishing, bro. I went and took all my things to my assistant. I just started putting all the pieces in place. Everything that he called me to do, I've been moving in obedience doing it. And that dude that was stressed out this morning, he gone. He gone, bro. He told me what to do. I've been doing it, bro. He gone. So, yeah, man. Look at me. Stop tripping. He's God. If he's not worried, why are you? He said, if I exist outside of time, then that means I am already at the place where you and I are having a conversation about you thanking me for me coming through. You're sitting here thinking about this happening, this happening, this happening. I am already at the place where you are thanking me for covering what happened here, what happened here, what happened here. He's like, I got it covered. My will, my bill. Put it on my tab. Put it on my tab. I'm paying for it. The provisions are already there. That's the point. Stop tripping. He's God. The provisions are already there. What are we worrying about? Every single situation where there is a problem, you look at Abraham. I'm sure he was tripping. He had to go kill his son. An assignment from God. Go kill your son. I'm sure he was tripping. But guess what? He looked up. Genesis 22:13. He looked up. There was a ram. Meaning, while he's doing all this traveling, them 3 days to get up the mountain, the provision is already there to replace Isaac. The same ram that he slaughtered instead of Isaac was already there. He just had to look up. Man, move in faith and go meet him. He already has it covered. Because why would he call us to something that he's not moving in? Why would he call us to a dead end? If he not up in heaven, pacing around, worrying about situations, why are we? That don't make no sense. See, when you think about it from that perspective, why would I be worried about something if you already have it covered? In fact, you've only called me to it because you have it covered. What business do I have worrying? None. Nada. And that's the video. Love y'all.